So you're gonna have to do the right thing for a change.
No! Take your tiny hands off of me! We should be out there protecting the city lethally!
Welcome back to the channel, our YouTube anime and cult manga followers. I can say that I thoroughly miss talking to y'all, man. And on top of that, I speak for my brother when I say that we apologize for not posting the past couple of weeks. But quite seriously, we had some crazy life-changing events happen with our family that we had to address. But on a lighter note, have y'all been enjoying these memes that I'm putting in the beginning of these chapter reviews? Because I'm gonna keep doing it, first off. And then second off, I feel like they're just so poorly edited that it almost makes them a little bit more funny. So I'm gonna keep doing it. But I wanna stop rambling. Let's talk about Captain Hoshina and chapter 73. So normally we break up the chapters into multiple different parts, but chapter 73 was really just kind of one continuously running chapter that didn't really branch away from Hoshina and number 10 much. So what we're going to talk about today is Kaiju number 10 and what his ultimate objectives are, and then also Hoshina obviously seeing him in action with the 10 suit for the first time. Now, for starters, this chapter opened up hilariously. We saw 10 excited because the day has finally come where he can fight, and after this he demands Hoshina to let him run amok and kill all the kaiju in the area. Soshiro follows up by asking why the hell his suit can talk, because it just makes things awkward, which is awesome. The number 10 suit does still have a will of its own, just like we predicted. Go ahead and put my meat on the table. But even though he has a will of its own, it doesn't really seem like things are ominous yet, you feel me? We're still kind of in that playful phase where Matsumoto is showing us that in order for the 10 suit and Hoshina to be able to really truly work as one, they're gonna have to learn how to put both of their prides to the side and really just work together towards one common goal. Now, the one concern that I did have with this chapter and interactions was whenever even Okanogi told Hoshina, hey, honestly, it's just far too early for us to be using this number 10 suit in live combat. Hoshina follows back up by saying, hey, I understand that, but in order for us to have the upper hand on Kaiju number 9, these are the kind of gambles that we have to take. Now, if you look at this panel right here, Kaiju number 10 is obviously, his will is manifested in the form of that eye in the chest piece that Hoshina has on. Well, here, Kaiju number 10 grinned and looked up at Hoshina and said, this is why I like you. Now, this really threw me off, and it really just started making me think even more so, man, Kaiju number 10 is up to something, dog. Because we've said it on this channel before in a previous video, but let me just kind of lay out some of the things that we've gone over. Now, Kaiju number 10 has to have some sort of ulterior motivations to be wanting to turn into a weapon, right? Kaiju number 10 pulled up specifically to the Tachikawa base. He specifically wanted to fight the strongest person there. He specifically wanted to get weaponized after he got defeated. And he also would not talk to anybody after he was defeated other than Vice Captain Hoshina. Now, there's way too many coincidences that add up to show that obviously Kaiju number 10 did not just come to the Tachikawa base just to fight the 3rd Division. There was some sort of ulterior motivation there, and the person that's always moving chess pieces, the person that's always pulling the strings behind the scenes is who? Kaiju number 9. Now, what we've laid out is that Kaiju number 9 probably has one of two ulterior motives in sending Kaiju number 10 to the Tachikawa base. Now, the first theory that I outlined in my Kaiju number 10 theory video was that number 9 sent 10 to the Tachikawa base knowing that he would be defeated. Ultimately, after a daikaiju is defeated by the defense force, they then turn that daikaiju into a weaponized suit or a weaponized weapon of some sort for the defense force. Now, maybe 9 wanted 10 to get defeated and turn into a weapon. That way in the future, he could absorb number 10 and also the human that 10 is currently being used by. That way he has not only knowledge of the defense force, but he also becomes stronger after absorbing number 10. Now, this is a very plausible theory based off of the other things that we've talked about before, but not only that, but how would Kaiju number 10 know anything about weaponized suits if he's never interacted with anybody in the defense force before? Now, the second point that I think that it could also be is that maybe 9 just truly wanted 10 to cause utter chaos within the defense force. Now, we've also talked about before how whenever Kafka gets around other daikaijus, or he feels like that presence, that fortitude rating from other daikaiju, he almost loses himself in a sense. The kaiju inside of him takes over and it wants to kill kaiju. We saw that whenever he fought Isao. We saw that whenever he punched away the big number 10 bomb that came out of the sky, right? Now, what if number 9 knows that number 10 is going to get weaponized and turned into a suit and cause utter chaos because it has a will of its own? Well, right now, all 10 wants to do is just fight strong kaiju. What if number 10 all of a sudden sees Kafka and kaiju number 8 and says, hey, these are the people that defeated me, Hoshina. We don't got an option. Like, we are fighting them right here, right now. Think about how much inner turmoil that causes. Not only that, but Hoshina and Kafka are quite literally best friends within the defense force at this point. So it would make sense that either of these options could be plausible, but I just truly want you to think about that. There's no way that number 10 just wanted to come to the Tachikawa base just to fight the 3rd Division. He ultimately didn't kill anybody, so what was the ulterior motive here? But getting back to Captain Hoshina, the one thing that we did get to see this chapter was Hoshina in that number 10 suit for the first time. And though we didn't get to see the extent of the suit, it was awesome to see the comedic relief and the banter between number 10 and Hoshina. Neither of them have changed in personality, and it was awesome to finally just see Hoshina being Hoshina for the first time in a while. I think that Hoshina has had a lot of weight that he's been carrying on his shoulders between preparing for this war that he knew that we were going to have with the kaiju, as well as getting the youth ready to fight all of these kaiju, and doing research behind the scenes on what these plans are going to be from 9 and the invasion that ensues with him, right? Hoshina has had a lot on his plate, but at least he gets to look swaggy now. But we obviously saw that the biggest problem with Hoshina and 10 is going to be that they do both have control of that suit. So they're going to have to learn how to work in tandem together in order to fully get the most out of each other. Problem here with this is that Vice Captain Hoshina is a very calculated fighter. He's thinking about everything that's going to happen next and also the best weak points to go after. That way he has the best chance of success anytime that he goes into a fight. While Kaiju number 10 is stronger than almost anybody that it's gonna fight. So at the end of the day, Kaiju number 10 don't care about analyzing. It just wants to charge into fights head on and see who comes out victorious. And we saw how this kind of clashes against one another during this chapter. But by the end of this chapter and whenever it ended, finally Hoshina told himself, there is no point in trying to have a battle of pride with the most prideful kaiju of all time. And he says, hey, number 10, I'm gonna let you do it how you wanna do it for today. And number 10 ends off the chapter by saying, hey, bet, follow me, even if it causes your death. And that just felt ominous, but I'm also excited to see the next chapter and actually see what that means. What is Captain Hoshina about to do next chapter, dog? You know every single kaiju around him is getting decimated. But the one thing that I don't wanna skip over that I really wanted to address is, did you notice that whenever Hoshina was getting attacked by all those kaiju, just how intelligent these kaiju are now, bro? Like, that is honestly probably the scariest part of this chapter to me. Not even that 10 could possibly take over and do something of his own in the future. The fact that these kaiju were attacking Hoshina at the same exact time, they were grabbing objects like an airplane to smash it down on Hoshina's head. Like, bro, things are getting scary. I think that one thing that I want to have a prediction, this is my prediction for the future, you heard it here. So kaiju number 10 could control Wyvern type kaiju way back whenever he had that raid on the Tachikawa base, right? My prediction is that as Hoshina unleashes more suit output percentage with the kaiju number 10 suit on, one of his special abilities is gonna be that he can control certain types of kaiju. Obviously, granted, that number 10 helps him since he has the will of his own. That's me putting my meat on the table. Let me know if you think that's a good prediction down below. But nah, man, that's everything that I really wanted to talk about this week for chapter number 73 of Kaiju number 8. And we get another chapter next week, dog. I don't know if you peeped that, but it is not a 2-week break. It is only a 1-week break this week. So I will actually see you guys twice here in the next week because I am also putting the finishing touches on my script for my Vice Captain Soshiro Hoshina analysis video. I'm very excited to drop that, so be on the lookout for that sometime before next Thursday whenever the new chapter drops. And other than that, arigato mas for watching this video and being understanding of me and my little brother taking our little YouTube hiatus for a second, but we are back and we are better than ever. And other than that, I catch y'all later, bro. Peace.